Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So quick I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been
good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derek.
I heard it's on market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another week with the brothers from Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us, like us, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Ring the bell, subscribe so you get the notifications that we did. And let us a little bit down so we were family. We're only 8 people away from getting to 500. Can you help us out? Just tell a friend to tell a friend. We love to support you. Can you support us back? We love you all. Please for that. And please, any comment, we always like the comments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll respond to you all. So with that said, my brothers from another mother, how was your week, my man Derik? How was your week, my man?
Hey man, the week was beautiful. Was slow motion, relaxed. Spent time with the family. My oldest is in the Navy. He's doing fantastic. He should be studying for his. I think he should be testing actually for his advancement to his next rank. He's been doing well, man. So I'm very optimistic about that. He's moving. My kids, my middle son, my youngest son. Hey, Simone, how you doing? Everybody's doing well. My goddaughter, my youngest son today was his second day of coding class online. And my peoples, I'm gonna start to share that information as well. So if anybody's interested in online, lessons for their children, that'll be dope. And other than that, man, we got family and visiting from out of town. My wife's side, fly people from Costa Rica in town. So
nice.
So we're gonna enjoy our little time with them, and that's what it is, man. And I'm back with you fellas, man. Doing what I love to do, man. Hanging with you, best company I can think of.
So Derek, what's your favorite Costa Rican meal that your wife make? What's on the plate for everybody coming to town?
Oh man, pupusas.
What is that?
So she just made that. It was it's like this I don't know, it's like this little patty or something, like almost like roti or something, with like some lettuce and some other things on it, some beans and all this other stuff on there. Slam it, bro, as we used to say. I'm using old school phrase, slam it. It was slamming. And so that's the first thing that came to my mind. But there's so many, man. So they got some good food in Costa Rica, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. Beautiful people too. Pura vida. Yeah.
My man Rod, my mellow, get on the mic because I know you eat Jello. How was your week, man?
It was good. It's good. I do want to vouch for Derek's wife. I've been to his house for dinner. His wife can burn. It's no joke. I mean, his wife is an amazing cook.
I'm starting to think something. Kelvin and I wasn't invited, but it's okay. Let's keep on.
You know what that's about. You already know that.
Look, that's light skin.
And then there was,
right there. So, you know what?
There was a reason. There was a reason you weren't invited, and I'm not going to say what it is.
So
I'm nice.
The paper bag test,
Yeah. But my week has been good. I got an announcement to make. I've been focusing on my health even more. Okay. Eating right. I'm still going to the gym and stuff like that. And I made a decision for people that know me closely. That I smoke cigars. So I'm deciding that I am going to quit smoking cigars.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Cigars is good too, man.
Cigars. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do it because I'm mentally strong. So I can definitely do it. But it's gonna be hard. You
might have to give up the brown liquor to go with it, though, brother.
Well, I don't drink brown. I don't drink brown liquor.
Oh, good. Well, then, you got a shot at it, then, man. I ain't got no shot at all.
See, he discriminates even against brown liquor.
Yeah. I only like vodka. It's gotta be clear.
You gotta do the clear stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So Rob, let me ask you a question. How many cigars do you have? If you quitting today, you must have some left over.
I do. I have actually a lot left on my humidor, and my wife.
I'll dispose of those for you, man. If you need them.
No, that's all right, Derek. But my wife made a suggestion, but I was kind of a little bit cautious about the suggestion because she suggested that I not quit until after I smoked them all. So that made me kind of feel like, is she trying to get closer to this insurance policy or not? You know, so I don't know, you know, but she encouraged me to finish them all and then quit, you know. So I don't know.
Big Sam got a hit on Ron, y'all.
Nah, she gonna let me do myself in. She gonna say, "Nah, you keep smoking them cigars, baby."
Tequila is that kryptonite right there, Maya. I'm telling you something.
And that's my goddaughter, man. What the hell are you talking about? Sit your ass down, man. Talking about tequila, man. What the hell is going on? Man, my family is failing.
Yeah, but I made the decision after I had the colonoscopy because, you know, the doctor said to me, she said, "Mr. Mitchell, you smoke, don't you?" And I said, "No, I don't smoke. I only occasionally smoke cigars." She says, "Well, I don't know how to tell you, but that's smoking." And she said that you're a very healthy man. You basically should consider quitting. And I'm going to take her advice, and I'm going to quit smoking cigars.
Very good.
I mean, actually, ask the doctor, if you put marijuana in the middle of that cigar wrapper, is it still?
It's still smoking. It's still smoking.
He's gonna find a way. D gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Circumvent the system.
Yeah. But
I'm happy for you, brother. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm taking a journey one day at a time.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Kay?
Yeah, man. What up? We just got started, baby. We just talking about how was our week. The thing is, like, you know, Ryan, I lost my father at 62, and that's only 10 years from your age now. So it's like, I'm glad that you're giving up on it now. I wish my father would have listened to me when I tried to tell him to me.
Yeah, you see that shit?
I saw you did.
You saw what he did, right? I wouldn't say my age earlier.
You did it smooth, though.
And he freaking leaked it. And
did it smooth. That's why. Yo, you know that's the dark skin revenge, brother.
No,
wow.
This is why I say it, though.
God, don't let the devil use me right now.
That's why I say it, because Rodney, you look very good at your age, and I don't have to say no homo. It's just really telling give my brother his flowers.
Thank you, D. Thank you.
Nice
But you still shouldn't have said that, though.
Yeah, nice baby.
Yeah.
I saved it like a goalie and shit.
Yeah. Rodney's 52 years old. That's everybody knows.
So she gave me some love. She liked, she thought that was cool. See.
Yeah.
Kelvin, my brother, man, how was your week, my man?
Oh man, long week. As I told you guys, my aunt passed a couple of weeks ago. So we had her.
Sorry to hear that again, Kelvin.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a funeral today, and I was her eulogist. So rest in peace to my aunt Joanne Jones. But it's a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and had a chance to see her 2 weeks ago. And we did as honors celebration, which I recommend everybody do if you can. So, we had a long day with that, but, my cousins and my uncle hanging in there. And other than that, man, it's just been really, really long. I mean, it's like we got a second shot at summer. It is like 90 degrees today. It's blazing out there. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to get ready for some football weather, get ready to transition into the fall, which is one of my favorite times of year, getting ready to go into the holidays and stuff. So, other than that, man, everything was good. Everything was cool, There's a couple of things that's going on with, I guess, the light skin, dark skin situation, but we'll touch on that later. Outside of that, D, how was your week, man?
My week is rough, bro, with work and everything like that, man. For those that know, like, I work for a large nonprofit, and we are part of the Emergency Rent Assistance Program, trying to get out that $2 billion New York State got to get to pay back landlords and tenants back rent up to a year. So if anybody else want to put the number out there, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now, Jamie, so you can post it across.
Did you say $2 billion with a B?
$2 billion in New York State funding.
Yeah, I'm a little light.
Wait. You saying that they let you be in charge of $2 billion?
No.
My brother, Rodney eyes got big. He was like, wait a minute.
Wait, you're saying, do you have access to $2 billion?
No, because otherwise we'd have been getting all those chicks for OnlyFans page and having a party. But I'm not.
Okay, wait. Do you know the person that is running the $2 billion?
I
know a couple of people in HRA, but they don't have no pull like
my man D can't go nowhere. Get going to
I'm trying to get close to that money.
For the phone number for people that's interested in it, it's called the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. It's 929. That's through us for Good Shepherd 525. There you go, Jamie. 2248, and that's for New York. So anybody that's listening to this thing, go to your local website or your state communications, figure out, and just type in Emergency Rental Assistance Program for whatever state that you are in, and they should be able to locate you, help you out there.
Nice.
So yeah, and then if anybody else that needs help with like rent, I'm doing rental assistance called Helping Hands. Be helping out pay back rent, man. That's a headache. You know, people back utility bills up to $2,000, food vouchers depends on the size of family, it's $800, furniture, stuff like that. If you need to get at me, hit us up on YouTube, and and Jamie will provide you my email address so you can reach me out if you need anybody needs help with that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's about it, man. This is a rough week, man. Helping people is a hard job, brother. It is a
Let
hard
me tell you
job.
something, D, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you, D, for what you do, especially for our people. Let me tell you this. People have been coming at me on the show saying, Kelvin, you're very critical of our community, that you just come across with stories that are, bad for our community, and you just really are critical of our people. And people have been saying that to me. Anyway, everybody else good?
So I'm gonna say it for Calvin. Fuck him.
As my man Bobby Burr said,
Yeah.
God made him, God damn him.
Yeah. Yo, you guys got child support assistance over there too?
Oh man, I wish it's another nonprofit. I can't think offhand. I could probably help people out with that joint, man.
Yo, that's a good idea.
I know some brothers that need help with that.
No, it's a good idea that when somebody come to try to get it, that's where they find them.
See, this is the people talking about. This is the people talking about when they talk about you, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. So, yeah, Kelvin, anything else, man, on your mind, brother?
Yeah, I got a little pet peeve I got to talk about, and I'm gonna tell you. First of all, I live in the land of inconsideration. Okay, and so I just want to say, and I'm not talking about any particular community. Okay, I'm just saying in my community. All right, I guess I am talking about a particular community. In my community, have you ever experienced when you're trying to drive down the street and there's only room for one car at a time?
Yeah.
Now, to me, I would think if there is room to pull over on your side, then you should pull over and let the person get by, right? But obviously, the natives who are indigenous to the land of inconsideration don't think like that. And this idea, I don't know what it is where it becomes a battle getting down the street, where the person got to drive faster. And I'm talking about will not move over an inch. And I got 10 cars parked next to my lane, and they have nothing but a free space on their right. I don't understand it. And that just gets on my nerves. And that is nothing but the natives. That's vintage natives. Now I got to say one other thing. This is not a pet peeve. And this is just real. I want to tell this. I want to say this to Rodney, and I want to say this to Derik. The day of the light-skinned dude is over. I hate to say it. It's over. Now, this is the thing. When y'all had Albie Shore and y'all had all these dudes and stuff like that, y'all didn't handle it with humility. Y'all made us kick rocks right there. I'm right, D? Is that what they did? When when light-skinned dudes was in, y'all took advantage of it and treated us foul. I want you to know the dark-skinned dude is reigning supreme right now. So we're going to try to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get a tan or something like that. We let you come to some events. Outside of that, y'all just tried to play us. That's it.
Hey, my cousin said Wesley Snipes killed us in New Jack City when he did on Chris Williams.
Oh, we did that. That was the end of it. That was it.
I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up Chris Williams. Yeah.
See what you wrote about Kelvin right there?
But that had a good run though.
Let me tell you this, right? I don't think that it's a light skin, dark skin no more with women. I think women are just trying to find a guy that's not wearing a dress. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Then they found the right podcast.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, it's getting difficult out there. You know what I'm saying, for women to find a guy that's kind of on the straight up and narrow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I think like men like us, like we are a commodity now. Like women are looking for like solid dudes.
All right, like Rod, that's a great point. So we're gonna make a deal. Let's do this tonight.
Go ahead.
We're gonna make some trades. We're gonna trade y'all Little Nas X. All right.
No, we don't. Not him.
No. We
would take anybody back. We'll take anybody back. We trade y'all Little Nas X and R. Kelly. We'll take anybody else back.
Kid Cudi?
Everybody know light-skinned people are great people. We're nice people. We
Little
don't,
Uzi
don't
Vert?
deal with that.
Little Uzi Vert? Nah.
No.
We don't have a problem with light skin. We don't have those issues. No.
We'll take anything back for those two.
Okay, so you got to take Larry
Watch any
Elder.
Tyler Perry movie.
Larry Elder?
You got to take Larry Elder.
No, you got to trade somebody light. You got to trade somebody light.
Larry light skin?
We already got Larry Elder.
Now with all that makeup on, he's trying to be like.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We want to put him away.
I'll take Bill Cosby. I'll take Bill Cosby.
Yo, you know what? Bill. Wait, hold up. Are there any bad light-skinned people? Everybody we naming is dog.
Yeah, Simone. We having a little fun with. She said one thing that black folks need to stop doing is attaching personality.
You also trade John Simone. We'll trade John Simone as well.
That helps to continue. It's true, Simone. But we doing right now. We're just thinking the blues right now.
We just having black folks spades talk on social media right now.
This is barbershop talk on social media.
We just cracking, having a little fun. But since you mentioned Larry Elder, Rob, we're gonna get into the first thing on the chopping block tonight. The GOP was considered conceding California recall hit. Stay tuned. So that's Larry Elder, that son of a bitch ass motherfucker. That's that son of a bitch right there. If anybody never saw an image of him right there. His bitch ass lost by a landslide, I think, right? Is it landslide? Landslide. There's false claims of a lot of stuff saying the election, the recall's election's gonna be rigged, all this other stuff. I just say like
that slave owners should get reparations.
Women, besides women, like you said, women don't want men in dresses. I think women don't want no bitch ass dudes either. And that's another bitch ass dude.
Well, he's got a dress on under that suit.
Yeah, he's a coon outfit with a dress.
Yeah.
He's a coon.
I don't know what Larry Elder's on. I don't know if he's on a mixture of crack and dope together. I don't know what he's on and what kind of world he's living in. But there's no place here for Larry Elder. He can't come to the cookout ever.
Never.
No, he's the weirdo cousin. You don't even tell about the cookout.
Yeah.
You find out we see the pictures online or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh man.
He's a weapon at that point. Larry Elder, Candace Owens, and such people of that ilk.
But Larry
they're weapons against blackness, man. Against us.
And they'll do anything to promote their own thing, to sell their own people, just to promote themselves. Never seen an era of so many self-centered people to do be detrimental to other their own people, just to get some fame, some clout. I'm like, dude, you're a smart person. For you to get a radio talk show and all that stuff like that, you're a smart enough person. You don't have to harm other people to get where you are. You already use your intelligence to get that platform. You can do it again. Don't have to do it while harming people.
Yeah,
but he wants they want a loyal white audience. That's what they're looking for because there's so much more money in that, and that's what their intentions are. Because what they're doing is evil. You know what I'm saying? It's just evil. It's the epitome of self-hatred.
Yeah, absolutely. They're crazy, man. They sound crazy. They talk crazy. They sound crazy. But I don't know. Maybe they have a place, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what we can do because. They stand so hard, for the right wing, and not even you could be conservative, and then you could just be crazy conservative. It seems like they just stand for crazy conservative. You know what I mean? They just go all out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know, man. But I'm always been politically independent. My vote is earned. It's not given. You know what I mean? So on one level. Even though I find them just completely just a joke, like minstrel show level offensive, but maybe politically they have a position where they keep the Democratic Party a little honest too, because how often do we complain about them getting in and them kind of once every 4 years it's all about us, and then after that you don't hear anything.
I'm glad you said that point, man, because. The Reverend Al Sharpton called to Biden to fight the filibuster. We can't depend on you here. When can we depend on you? Yeah. So what you just said is what the echoes on a lot of black social platforms. A lot of people starting to speak out like, we black people got you here now. What the fuck are you going to do, Joe Biden? Because I think now we ain't giving that long-term way to the 4th year. If he doesn't show and prove to me from the stuff I'm looking at, it's going to be some repercussions in the next election in 2022. for
Yeah.
the bottom tickets.
Well, I always thought he was a one-term president. Just sheer.
Not him. I'm even talking about even to get president after him. Like what's his
Oh,
name?
you talking about with the party finally?
Like Kamala and anything like that. Try to run. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean that's fair. I mean that's part of it. I mean it's actually a negotiation. You have to earn my vote. If I do give my vote, then that comes with some requests that I want. That's why I voted for you, to represent my interest. And so I do agree with you with that. And I think it's just not it's any politician, it's anybody you do business with. You got to hold people accountable. You got to hold their feet to the fire. That's just the reality of it, because it is human nature to get comfortable. People do it in relationships. People do it in business partnerships. Once people have what they want, the pendulum swings a lot of times. So yeah, I agree with Sharpton with that. And I think and what we keep forgetting in some cases is we've got to understand that we've got to deal with our local level politicians as well. That's the thing. I think some people just are fixated on the White House. I mean, your assembly people, your council people, people, we got to walk into offices and get to know people and let people know these are people that represent us. We put you in office. Then as a result, we want to make sure that our voice is heard. And you should just magnify that. That's what it is.
Hey, you know what? I was just reading earlier a Brookings Institute article, and basically we're talking about how basically black folks saved Biden and American democracy. And they pointed out the percentages, and you could just look at Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Detroit as examples. Georgia, I think over 50% of Democratic voters were black in Georgia, even though we have a state population of 33%. Michigan, 20% of Democratic voters are black. We make up a 14% state population, and Pennsylvania, for instance, 21% of Democratic voters were black, and 12% of the state population is black. So we have consistently voted outside of our actual percentages. We've more than upheld our end of the bargain. So now what happens? We're sending these people. So we're sending these people to Washington, and then what are we getting back in return? And except broken promises, a whole bunch of excuses why they can't do it. And it's like it's like that old saying in business, location. Democrats are the only game in town when it comes to black folks. The Republicans don't even talk to us. So maybe if you've got, so maybe something needs to change in that regard, So it's just interesting to think about. We really have to start looking at where we place our votes and to start demanding what it is that we really want. So
very well said. Melvin, thanks. What Melvin said, I missed that. Jamie. Damn, sorry.
It said, "We the people must keep it up."
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. Yep, it's all about the people always, man. You want to say right? You want to say something?
I think the Democrats have gotten really comfortable with just expecting our vote without having to give us anything.
Yeah.
The thing is, until we can unify and basically put people's feet to the fire, pretty much like what Kelvin was saying, holding people accountable, it's not going to change. It's not. We have to unify. We have to vote in blocks.
Yes.
And basically, when somebody doesn't give us what we need for our vote, we have to basically crush them, and that's bottom line.
Yeah.
Because in certain states they can't win without our vote, and we have to understand the power of the vote.
Yeah.
So
what's echo
what Simone says?
Yeah, with Jamie. Here you go.
Yeah, she says it seems like every other group of people have politicians genuinely vouching for them, but black people, and you're saying like just what you're saying, Rodney. Yeah.
Like I had a conversation with Kelvin before, right? And see, me and Kelvin talked outside of the job. Outside of the platform, and he's not light skinned, and I talked to him. And, the thing is, until we gain political and economic power, then basically they're going to continue to ignore us, because the dollar is the most powerfulest thing. Yeah. So the thing is, until we understand money and how it works and what money can do, especially with dealing with them, and we're not supporting them, because you got to realize, what's
up, good Damien?
What's up, Damien? You got to realize, white supporters of politicians, they're donating a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They have businesses that can get government contracts and all stuff like that. We're not in those positions. And until we get in those positions, we can't crank the politician's arm, and that's what we need to do. You know,
Yep.
so the answer is uniting economic power and understanding how politics work, and that's the answer.
Yep, and I just want to echo what Damien. Economic independence equal political power. So
Absolutely.
if anybody, Dr. Claude Anderson, you can pick up his books about. He talks about that all the time, and everything, you know. And a shout out to Damien the Framework, bro. I'm sorry about last night. He wanted to check in about. They had a show on about the verses last night, man. I was tired, D. My body was beat from the job. They working me over. I see why you left. I'm beat tired, bro. And the Framework was doing about the verses last night. They had 2 episodes last night. So check out, like and subscribe to Framework. They will support us, and we want to support our brothers back.
Absolutely.
Yep, on it.
Yep, on YouTube. Find them on YouTube, people. I think they come on every. Damien, put in the chat. I don't know what night you come on. I just want to make sure I say it right. It's Monday, Tuesday. I know you've been on a lot this week.
As long as it ain't Wednesday night.
I think they come on just before us. I think they come on just before. So I tried to chop in with them, but sometime when they want me to get in, I gotta get ready for this show. So I get in for a few minutes, man. But I'm gonna log in live with them next time, man. I promise. Word is bone. Okay. So we're talking about politics and stuff like that. Yeah, Wednesday nights at 7. There you go. There you go. Word the Framework. Yeah.
We're gonna check you out, Damon.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and Lisa too. I think she has a show. Lisa, if you're in the chat tonight, Cult Jam, please tell us so we can shout out your show too. Get people to like and subscribe on that joint too. The New York crime bill, right? They're trying to change the New York crime bill. A assembly person out of Brooklyn named Hermley, something like that. I can't get the person's names right. I believe they are going to try to name crime bill about their brother Michael K. Williams, because we all know Michael K. Williams was big into prison reform, and our brother Dilly part of the left pretty early in life. But this is one of his goals in life. He was always about, he was a humanitarian, he was a community person. He's always about equal rights for LGBTQ. And this is one of the main things he want to stay on. So that'd be kind of dope that a brother like that played these criminal roles and sometimes it showed a different light of the criminal in there to help out prison reform. Because he was always, he had platforms on his TV shows. And he was not TV show, but like when he was on TV show, like on HBO, he was talking about prison reform. And he's always out there in the streets marching and talking about it. So, and trying to get legislators to understand and listen to that. So thoughts on that, brother? Again, it's a bill named after him.
You know what?
They should call it the Omar Little crime bill. That's what they should call it. Or they should call it Omar coming. That's what
Omar coming. Oh
Omar
man,
coming.
forget about it.
Yo, the cops are running for the hills, man. Omar's coming.
I think that's excellent, man. I think that's commendable. Anytime you have a legacy that outlives your life. I mean, that made you live for something. That you have a legacy after your life is over. So I think that's awesome, and I hope everything goes through. And again, it's painful because his brother was just going too soon. As far as Lisa's concerned, Lisa, I'm gonna check you out because the Yankees are my team, but they scrubs right now.
Jamie, put a thing back up, Jamie, real quick. What she said?
Yeah, she said the Empire 161 show Sunday evenings for Yankee baseball fans.
Yeah,
right.
Man, you got some Met fans here, Coach James. You got some Met fans here. They
might get mad. They don't really count. I don't think.
No, I'm a Yankee fan.
I'm a Yankee fan too.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? On Michael K. Williams, though, it's great that he is being remembered in such a way. Kelvin, don't give up. There you go. I don't know. I was looking around for what was actually in the bill, though, proposed bill. I couldn't really find it. I didn't really have time, so so I'll look a little bit more, because I know it had to do with mass incarceration, curtailing mass incarceration issues, but I don't know what exactly is in the bill. I want it to be something substantive, substantive. I don't want it to just be something where a politician kind of just gets behind it because because they're trending and they get some clout off of it. You know what I'm saying? So I want it to mean something. So, so in the meantime, I'll just say I'm happy that he got it, and I'll stay optimistic, and I'll find out more about it. You know what I mean? But I will be looking a little bit more into it myself, though.
Yeah, definitely. That should be funny. That's just here come Omar. That is some funny.
Yo, we need an Omar in these streets now to make all this nonsense stop. That's what we need.
Get rid of firecrackers, the speeding ass cars.
Yeah,
the people that don't pull over, right?
That's right.
And crack down all the fake ass Texas license plates that they got out here. I'm tired of fake ass white, black Texas. That's what I'm dry snitching.
Oh, that's the other thing. Somebody stole one of the license plates off one of our cars.
Yo, D, that's not dry snitching. That's just snitching. Period. Period. That's snitching.
No, I bro. Yeah, because they drive crazy with them fucking fake plates, bro.
Yeah. Well, they had a
Black
crackdown on
motherfucker,
these.
you know,
But I have a real plate they stole.
Yeah.
They probably stole it because they fake plate got confiscated.
How many black folks you know from Wyoming driving to South Jamaica, Queens?
Unless it's a rent a car.
True, but no, come on. I don't know fucking 2002 Honda Civic speed with the loud ass pipes on it. Nah, that shit ain't happening, bro.
Oh man,
that ain't happening, man. Yeah. I'm tired of them motherfuckers.
There's always some sort of scam going, man.
Always with a scam going. Where I left off, man? I've lost my position here, man. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, in New York City, COVID-19 vaccination proof mandate for restaurants, dining, and other companies like McDonald's, Goldman Sachs are some of the companies mandating vaccines for all of their employees. Thoughts on this, gentlemen? Because I know it's happening, and also for people that don't know, in New York City, anybody that's receiving New York City money, like school teachers and stuff like that, they have to get vaccinated by, I think, the first shot by the 27th. It's affecting some of the nonprofit worlds that anybody have school programs that they have to get vaccinated by the 27th, or I think the companies will be letting people go. So, what are your thoughts, guys?
I just think it's going to get worse, man. I think the contention that's building, man, it's just tough. I mean, there are people that are friends that are now at odds. There are people that are associates that are now at odds, and it's just tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I understand both sides. There are people that are afraid of this thing that feels it's going to be detrimental to their health, and they just feel like they don't trust it. And there are other people that have a lot more trust in it, and I don't think. Where there should be one extreme or another. I think there still has to be, like I find it insulting that they put up these ridiculous commercials trying to get people vaccinated. I am vaccinated, by the way, but they got this one commercial where this dude looks like he's just homeless or something. And
I know the rest of you do with the mask down here.
Yeah, his shirt is dirty, and he's every 5 words. We need to do it because we're black. And the person that came up with it is black. And the people that tell you to do it is black. I mean, in other words, don't insult people's intelligence. Don't throw somebody up there looking all crispy, crunchy, you know what I'm saying? Because they black to say it, they're not a medical professional. Understand this. Black people have a right to understand their health as well. And some people are concerned, and black people in particular who feel disenfranchised oftentimes and feel that they've been duped by the government, obviously need to take more inventory of this because they're concerned that nobody's ever had their best interest at heart and want to know why somebody would have it now. So sure. I understand both sides, but I do think that people should have certain rights, certain liberties and freedoms that you don't want to infringe upon. And I think that's becoming part of the contention that's going on right now. So I understand both sides, and I just think it's going to be tough because right now the government is digging their heels in, and they're saying basically we're going to force you. It's going to be involuntary submission, but you're going to submit either way, and that's what it looks like.
Rodney, you about to say something before?
Yeah. I know. I agree with Kelvin. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were in a country of freedoms and stuff like that. Look like that's not the case. The thing is, I'm gonna start with the restaurants, right? So basically, if a person's not vaccinated, basically that's a punishment of not being able to spend your money in a restaurant. I mean, let's use some common sense here. So is that like a punishment because I get to keep my money and I don't go in that restaurant? I mean, it's a little ridiculous to me, especially to go in there to sit down and take my mask off. You know what I'm saying? Only have to put it on when I go to the bathroom and come back because COVID chills out when I'm sitting down eating. You know what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous. It doesn't take a break. You know what I'm saying? If either it's out there or it's not. But the thing is, you're going to get pushed back from people with this because we talked about this earlier. I believe that this is close to basically being able to choose whether you can have an abortion or not. You're basically trying to make people take something that they don't want to take or that they are in fear of because of history of this country. So the thing is this, if this country had been on the up and up, then you wouldn't have people as afraid. And then, the thing is too, like I've heard people make comments and stuff that, about them being vaccinated and people being unvaccinated. The thing is, if you took the vaccine, you should feel safe that you are covered against somebody that's not vaccinated. Why are you so worried about somebody that's not vaccinated? The vaccine was supposed to protect you. So why are you worried about an unvaccinated person? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, the way the government rolled this out, it didn't make a lot of sense either. They have press conference, they have State of the Unions, the president comes speak. They never rolled out anything explaining what this thing was. They just threw it out there and threw it upon people. That's why people are concerned about it. And I don't want to keep going in this because I don't want to deter people from taking it. But I believe if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want to take it, you don't take it. And that's it. That's how I believe in. You should be able to have a choice with something that goes in your body.
No, and yeah, absolutely, Rodney. And I think that has always been something, just us as Black people, 400 years on this side of the earth, and we still don't have control of our bodies. You know what I mean? And it's like, so you have a lot of people out there, you know, with legitimate concerns, myself being one of them, even though I did get the vaccine. I got the first shot anyway. All right. The second one is due. I'm not due for it yet, but I'll get it. But, you know, I feel as though, again, like, you know, I don't feel safe. And we spoke about this earlier. I took the vaccine. I don't feel safe. You know, I don't feel safe from COVID. I took the vaccine because, you know, I knew what would happen if I didn't take the vaccine. You know, I didn't know if I would get COVID, but I knew that I would be ostracized. I knew that I was going to have a whole bunch of problems, you know, and I think that that's probably what a lot of people are having an issue with. You know, and plus another thing that I do is I listen to I listen to what's said. You know, I get a lot of conflicting information. You know, so they started off saying, okay, the vaccine is not going to prevent you from getting the disease, right?
Well, actually, in the beginning, Derik, a lot of people thought it was going to stop them from getting it, because I know somebody that took it and they said, I honestly thought I was under the impression that I wouldn't be able to get it because I'm vaccinated. So he felt like he was kind of deceived in a way. So the thing, and I feel that maybe a lot of people feel that now, but now that wasn't true. You can get it and you can spread it.
And you can spread it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, so it's kind of hard to explain to people now. You know what I mean? Just this, you know, to explain away. It's just a lot of conflicting information, a lot of new information coming on, and there are certain things with the disease, what people are really dying from in the disease. You know, there's like, for instance, one of them is blood clots. You know, so I'm looking for information on whether or not, you know, does aspirin help? You know, it's a blood thinner. You know, simple things like that. And there's no information on it. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But the important thing is no information on it. The reason there's information on it is because there haven't been studies for it done yet.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of studies on it.
The line on the blood clots, I think, is the very, very low number, and that was only when I think it was what's the one, the other company, the Johnson bull.
Johnson.
Yeah, the Johnson, and they said it was very, 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 very rare that happened. Okay. So yeah, so that.
Well, I know people who couldn't get the vaccine because they have a blood clot condition. You know what I mean? So now what happens to those people? You know? So it's just, to me, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of stuff that just that's just very contradictory and very incomplete information. And it would have been nice to not have it be mandated with incomplete information. You know? So that's my little 2 cents on it.
And then the thing is, you got to pay attention with the mandate, because first of all, people in the Senate ain't being forced to take it. People in the Congress ain't being forced to take it.
And they're the ones passing laws.
Police officers ain't being forced to take it. Post office ain't being forced to take it, because you know why? Because they work for the government. But they're going to make everybody else that's not working or have menial jobs, they're going to force them to take it and put their job on the line, which in my opinion is effed up.
I think they're going to have to, because the federal government, they're not, because if they have the soldiers already in taking back.
Yeah. My son is he's been mandated to take the vaccine, you know, and my advice to him was take it. You know, I mean, you know, it's, to me, you don't know what it's going to do, but you know what's going to happen to you if you don't take it. You know,
you're right, Achilles. Yeah.
Johnson can't even make baby powder alone. Damn vaccine. Exactly. Yeah.
And I also think the NBA.
Government workers have been mandated.
That's a government worker right there. So.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Okay, there's the people that's making the laws. Do they got to take it?
Last I heard, the
people that's up there making the decisions, they don't have to take it. You get all those Republicans in there that's not taking it, and they're not getting nothing done to them. They're not losing their positions in the Senate or the Congress.
You're right about that, but a lot of them have taken it on the low. That's the funny thing. Because all the ones that's anti this and anti that, Damascus,
And then,
all of those, but it showed that most of them have been vaccinated.
yeah, and then look at this week. We just opened up for football. Stadiums packed because there's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah. And also, like some things, like nonprofits are starting to lose their after-school staff because they don't want to take it. It's one of the issues I got going on in my job now. People might have to look for other work, and they might have to move to other states to find work. It's a hard situation for everybody, man. It's really ugly, man.
It's gonna get worse, D. I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse.
It has destroyed relationships.
Yeah,
like that too, so.
But I said it in an earlier show. I said this thing is being designed to divide us, to break us down. Yes. And the thing is, they made people that were vaccinated feel better than people that weren't vaccinated, and that was the issue. And then I'm going to tell you something else that I feel. This is just my opinion from having a conversation with somebody.
Wait a minute, he said he got the Magic Johnson type vaccine. That's the good stuff.
It's like having a conversation with a certain person. Like some people have vaccine remorse now. Like they don't feel like they should have took it, and then they feel like they want everybody in the same boat with them because they took it. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of it comes through. It's coming out too.
Yeah, but I think both sides. People who are vaccinated might be going at people unvaccinated. I think it's the same way with unvaccinated people. I just had a discussion with some people from the job yesterday, saying certain kind of words, calling vaccinated people stuff. So I think it's a divide. I think to me, I told people like this: this country has never been together. It's nothing that will bring this country together. Ever.
I agree with that.
Not
I don't
think pandemic, not nobody knocking down the towers. Nothing will bring this country together.
I'm gonna say 9/11 kind of brought people together
for one day. On September 15th, they was fucking beating up Muslims. And the other guys with the turbans, the sheikhs, whoever it is.
The vaccinated need to be protected from the unvaccinated by forcing the unvaccinated to get vaccinated by a vaccine that doesn't protect the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. Please make it make sense. Yeah, please make it make sense. Wow. Excellent way of putting it. Yeah.
I wonder who that is that made that.
Very smart, very intelligent person, obviously. Yeah.
That person, I think, has insurance on somebody in there. I'm not. I swear the devil will not use me tonight. I'm too tired of the wrestle with the devil, but I got enough strength to not let the devil use me tonight.
Yo. We've been chased by fear, man. We've been led by fear, using fear to separate us, man.
Derik, you're 100% right. I always say fear and hope. If you're selling fear and hope, you're going to get a lot of people to follow.
All right, but one thing we can unify on, we're all against the student loan people. So that's the one thing I can say.
Yeah, as we move on, man. Move on real quick. So, real quick. So we already saw like the New York City hospitals stopped delivering. Some New York City hospital people stopped delivering babies, and the nurses because it was about the not being vaccinated, the mandate. So you already see that in the workplace.
Yeah, I mean, so what's the answer? Like, if people dig in their heels, see, here's what I'm saying. Like, for me, I don't feel safe, right? Everyone wants to get to a place of safety. We're living in fear. We want to get to a place of safety. So you have people who are medical professionals whose job it is to help others. Now, what do you do with those people? Like you walk in and you're not vaccinated. What do you do with those people? I don't get this. People quit over those people quit. Those are knowledgeable workers. How do you replace those people? Still having babies? Hell, people probably having more babies right now because they can't go nowhere. They're home. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? You know what I mean? But so I don't get that. I don't understand that part, man.
No, I agree with you, Derik. Like those are medical workers that don't want to.
Everyone you can get, man. Yeah, every single last one.
You got medical workers that don't want to take the vaccine, which lets you know something. And then the other thing is, right? Like I've heard people say, "Oh, that's messed up." And they walked out. I don't think anybody walked out while anybody was delivering a baby.
I agree with Tim on this one.
Yeah, ask a lot of medical folks.
I think everybody. I think it's political.
No,
I think it's political.
It is political too. I'm not saying everybody's political though. Some people don't want to take the vaccine. It has nothing to do with politics. But the thing is too, like they say, well, they were going to be what? They were going to be fired anyway, right? So the thing is, some people just feel more comfortable with them being fired. They stood on a square and they believed in what they believed in, and they walked out. They told the establishment that you are not in control. Guess what? Guess who's in control? We are. We're the ones here doing the work. We're the ones here busting our ass. And then basically, we're going to show you who's really in control. So they gave the middle finger to the establishment and they walked off the job and shut the baby ward down. So, I mean, let's think about it. Like, you were going to fire them anyway. So they just beat you to the punch. I actually commend them for their behavior.
Yeah, but I wonder how they're gonna pay the bills. Can we bring up Brad's statement?
The thing is, like I've heard you say before, everything ain't about money.
All right, it can be about choice. That's what I tell people. Everybody's choice and chance every day they wake up, so they can go work in another state that's not for it. So everybody's choice and chance.
Yeah, Brad says, how do you replace the people that died? And that's a good point. You can't replace them.
You can't replace them. You can't replace them. And there's another thing that I want to bring up about that. And when you turned on the news when this first started, all they talked about was people dying. They didn't talk about people surviving. They didn't talk about people having mild symptoms. They didn't talk about the 40-something million that survived it. All you'd heard was deaths, deaths, deaths. The other thing that they're keeping the numbers away that they're not broadcasting. They're not broadcasting how many people that are vaccinated that are still coming up with the flu, with the virus. So the bottom line is, you can't get caught up in media about one thing. Sometimes the death numbers still haven't even reached 1% on what we do. Wait, let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
And they haven't died for a normal year. The flu has killed more people in some cases.
Yeah.
So the thing is, don't just focus on death. I'm downplaying deaths, but the bottom line is this: we're not looking at the bigger picture. You're just focused on the wrong number because that's what was pushed on TV.
No, what I'm gonna say is they are numbers that show people that are vaccinated. And they comparing them now, the numbers I'm looking at, and whether it's the people that's unvaccinated, how many of them are dying. Right now, they're saying that if more people died in the state of Florida this year than they had in the 20 years in the wars in Afghanistan, in the 20s of Afghanistan war. So they are focusing on both. They just focus on how many people are unvaccinated that are in the ICUs. That's what they worry about too, and stuff like that, and taking up those spaces that are for people that need to have serious surgeries. Stroke victims, heart attacks, those things of nature. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
Well, let me say this.
I got an echo. I think. I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to make light of this at all because this is very serious. So I just want to ask a question. Do you need to be vaccinated to buy fireworks? That's all I want to know. I'm asking because that may be something we need to look into.
Yeah.
That might be a fix. That might be a fix. Yeah.
Hey, to speak on something else that just blew up. Fauci debunks coronavirus vaccine infertility conspiracy after Nicki Minaj tweets about her cousin getting his balls swollen after so they canceled the wedding because his balls got real swollen and then he was impotent. I think her cousin fucking got burnt and that was a venereal disease and he used that shit to cover it up.
Allegedly. No, the thing is, I'm not with what Nicki Minaj did. I'm not co-signing that. Nicki Minaj shouldn't have gave her opinion about something that her cousin's friend told her. But the thing is, there's no proof that that's what caused his balls to swell up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, could there have been an issue with something else there? And then he wanted to blame it on the vaccine? I don't know. Allegedly, that's what he's saying. It was from the thing. But I don't believe that people with huge flat platforms should be giving their opinion about trying to make people not take it or take it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I see it.
Yeah. But she says, how many of the vaccinated people are actually vaccinated since a lot of people obtaining fake vaccination cards?
Yeah, but the feds will be on that. The feds will be on that. Let's stay on this topic. The feds will be on that. Yeah. But you're right. And I'm sorry if somebody said it was a Nicki Minaj cousin was getting married to some dude, whatever the hell it was. That motherfucker was cheating. His balls got swollen because he didn't take care of that disease.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you, Rodney.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, the thing is, Nicki Minaj should know at this stage right now, with a platform as big as she has, that if you say anything negative on your platform about the vaccine, the media is going to come for you. They're going to come for you. You know, I think they just invited her to the White House now to come talk about it, right? That's what she had to talk about.
They gotta get her right and they gotta get her on code, man.
They gotta get her on code.
But also, Nikki said, I think she was planning on getting the vaccinated anyway because her show money is getting fucked up. Right?
Then she shouldn't be talking about it. Then she shouldn't be talking about it because she's going to take it. She shouldn't say nothing.
Yeah. So you're right, Ron. I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah. If she's going to take it, then she shouldn't be giving her opinion about something negative about it. That's the bottom line, I think.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, she just showed that her bottom line. If it's affected, then I'm going to take it. So then, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, she got paid for some more stuff for her pedophile husband, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm sorry, but allegedly. And she's saying that son was sick. Oh.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel that Jamie was been laying for D because he got away last week.
Yes,
D, I'm gonna speak up for you, D.
I think that might have been a makeup scroll right there.
You made it a whole show.
A makeup call in the NBA. I think you got a makeup scroll.
Bullshit. Sorry, right? We about to say, right?
D, now D want to hear me speak. D said, no. He said, D, Rob, what you got to say now? No, I think Jamie was laying for D because he got away a full episode last week without any banner running across the bottom. So he's gonna be laying for you this show, D. I'm just letting you know.
D. It's probably something he forgot. He let you go a couple of times.
Jamie's the same motherfucker that was my best man in my fucked up ass wedding back in the day. That's why you ain't gonna be my best man on the next one. I ain't doing this shit twice.
See the power? See? And he moved it to the bottom.
Son of a bitch. Move me back over with Derik, man. Let's keep the angle right how we had. Let's keep the show going with the right angle, man. That's some bullshit. Man. Some bullshit, man. But listen, man, we got the topic of relationships, man, this time, man. I think, Jamie, can you play the video for us real quick, brother?
It's an unpopular opinion, but this piece of wisdom gonna set you free right here. Realizing that no one can cheat on you. It's about understanding that you have no possession over nobody. Nobody belongs to you. And once you realize this will simply set you free. We as humans be choosing bondage. We be choosing slavery because we don't realize that we have a choice of our own freedom and our own awareness of realizing that, dang, man, nobody belongs to me. So let me set them free. But a lot of people don't want to hear this. I know, man. This is when you got to stop taking things so personal. Stop feeling like you have ownership and control over somebody else's well-being and someone else's life decisions. If they want to do what they want to do, it has nothing to do with you. They did not cheat on you. They cheated on themselves. They have no loyalty to themselves. Stop making everything about you. This is them, this is their character, and they just exposed it to you. You can either deal with it, cry about it, pout about it, or move on with it. It's up to you, boo.
First of all, I gotta say that girl's skin was getting kissed by the sun. And, she got Masali color nails. That's what I'm gonna say.
She got some great point. She has some interesting perspective. Now, for clarification, I don't think she's saying, and this is what I got from it, I don't think she's saying that relationships are bondage, right? That's not what I got from it, but what she's saying is that, you choose everything in your relationship, if you are married, there is a contract. I am with you, you're with me, we're going to roll like that. And then if you go outside of that, then you're breaking the contract. You know what I mean? You've exposed yourself, and your own integrity. But, but that's something different. You know what I mean? That's something different. So,
did y'all play me a different clip? was that based on the clip you just saw?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I go deep with mine, bro. I go deep with mine. You hear how deep this was?
Don't worry, Calvin. You have your time to speak. Don't worry.
Yeah. Why would not? But no, I'm just saying though. I don't think that's not what I got from it. That's not what I got from it because what she said near the end. You know what I mean? I can see why. You know what I mean? So, I caught on to the part about integrity. You know what I mean? She said, "Don't cry," and basically, don't get caught up over someone cheating over you. Don't get caught up with someone cheating. Yeah. Wait a minute. Somebody said what?
I'm with them on that.
Okay, we be right. So you can't take advice when anyone starts a sentence with
Hey, Ebonics is a language.
Ebonics is a legit language, exactly.
Go ahead, Kelvin. You go ahead now.
What I heard was we are never gonna get anywhere
as a people.
That's I think that's very, very dismissive.
All right, man. I try to clear it up. Go ahead, bro.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a college freshman who read their first sociology book. That's what it reminds me of. And they've come up with some nuanced thing that the rest of the world doesn't know. To me, the reality of it is this: you don't just dismiss what people have vested together. I could be like, you know what? My mortgage company, y'all don't own the earth. So y'all have this house on the land. Nobody owns any land. God made at the end of the day, you're going to get put out. The reality of it is this: if you make a commitment to somebody, it's not about ownership. What it is, it's relationship. And that is something that is an agreement between people. So if someone breaches that agreement, they have actually, whether they cheated on themselves or not, they inadvertently cheated on the person as well. And that's the reality of it. So we can't just walk around. I go into the supermarket. Y'all don't own these apples. So to me, I thought that was some foolishness. And because I'm here with some very dignified men, I won't take it any further than what I would have ordinarily said, because I'm not going to let the enemy use me.
God damn.
Almost. Basically, I guess somebody else said it.
My wife doesn't forget about it.
I'm going to continue on Kelvin's path, and I'm going to say that's a big crock of bullshit that she was spinning out there. The bottom line is, it sounds like a cheetah's slogan. That's what she seems like she's running for. If you like Kelvin just said, if you are in a committed relationship and you have an understanding with your mate that you all guys are together, and you or she goes out and see you cheated. It's just plain and simple. I mean, don't tell me about nobody owns nobody, whatever. Yeah, we know people don't literally own somebody, but the bottom line is somebody, if they put themselves in a position of being in a committed relationship, they should hold to it. And that's the bottom line.
It's a mutual agreement.
It's a mutual agreement. And if you decide you cannot be in a committed relationship, you should not be in committed relationship. And then you can go see whoever you want and be whatever you want. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys that will appreciate you with that attitude. So, but yeah, that's just a bunch of bullshit.
I'm taking a quote from Vampire in Brooklyn. Sin is good. It's good sin. It's some good sin out there. So but no, listen. I don't know. I have no comment besides that. Only thing I want to say, black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat. There you go.
Can you imagine me and Derik putting that bullshit on our wives?
You don't own us.
You don't own us. We can do whatever we want. No one owns us.
And as soon as the show come on, it was the mule, Pop.
I be coming on a show like this. My whole shit be swollen up.
I wonder if a point, because like I said, like when people say you're walking papers, is it when she's saying bondage? Is that so that I'm just trying to play the other side of this right now? Because everybody, all three on that side, I'm gonna just go to the other side on this one. Yeah. So what do you think with the papers when she's saying the papers like a bondage thing? Is that owning this?
Okay, then she shouldn't get married. Then that's it. She doesn't believe in marriage. She don't get married.
But she never said the word marriage anyway. Like this generation, they don't really consider marriage anyway. You know what I mean? The way the marriage, that whole concept of marriage has become very, very fluid. You know what I mean? It's
she's got.
I'm not gonna get into the politics of it, but it's very fluid. As it is right now. You know what I mean? So naturally, the ideas regarding what you should base your marriage on are very different from what we grew up with.
She sounds like a person that has either been hurt or just hurt somebody.
Yeah, it's that Nikki.
About to hurt somebody,
Yeah, maybe she was cheated on, so I guess maybe this is some type of shield to protect her feelings in the future. Then
maybe. But you have to reverse that as well. So on Valentine's Day, look, I don't own you.
You don't own you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to buy nothing just for you or something for you at all. Because, you know,
you gotta spread it around a little bit, right? It's love day. It's
Mhm.
love day. I love a lot of
Kelvin, you can go in this direction. I decided to spend my money on someone else because I'm spread it out. I have to let everybody enjoy me, you know?
Right.
So I know you understand that. Yeah, it's an option to buy.
Yeah, can you bring it? I think which one go?
Oh wow!
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
I see Brad on that one, and yeah, then she said Akeelia said she don't think she condones cheating, and then you know, so I don't think she's, I don't think so either. I think I get it. I don't think she's condoning cheating. I didn't get that vibe from that one.
Well, you may not have heard this part of the video, Derek. She also says she thinks that boxing is falling off. I just want to tell you.
Oh, let's save that. Don't start that shit with him, man. Listen, man, Jamie, brother. On that note, Jamie, take us to commercial, please.
Hi, I'm Dawn Kelly, and I'm the founder and CEO of The Nourish Spot, a healthy food and beverage haven in Southeast Jamaica, Queens, chosen in 2019 as Micro Business of the Year by the U.S. Small Business Administration. My adult children, Jade and Owen Duncan, and I established The Nourish Spot to provide affordable access to healthy produce, to help our neighbors combat chronic diseases, to provide jobs for a diverse community youth. And it's no secret that small businesses play a critical role in the local economy. It's also proven that community is vital to the growth of small businesses. So come, let us nourish you at The Nourish Spot. We're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 10 to 6 p.m.
Welcome back from commercial. Please like us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Make the comments tonight. The comments off the hook, man. I know that some touchy subjects and some funny subjects, so we appreciate them all, y'all. Tonight, man. You know, over the last year, really, you notice companies have started really with this inclusion, diversity, and stuff like that. And inside the companies trying to get these apartments, a lot of stuff was a lot of stuff was old, saying it was old to us, or not old to us, but it was promised to us. But they haven't really done it, and we know how HR has dealt with some of the issues when we come up with race. So the brother we have on coming on tonight, our brother Tariel Simmons, is an equity, diversity, and inclusion champion and host of the Rise Up Urban Nation podcast. So Jamie, without further ado, can you bring our dear brother in tonight and let's chop it up? What's up,
brother? Yes, what's going on, brothers?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Chop it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
What's going on, man?
First of all, I love the shirt, brother. I love the shirt.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's all about
Decolonizer, exactly.
decolonizer right there.
Standing in the
Decolonizing
gap.
wealth.
Yeah, man. So my brother from another mother. So tell people who you are, man. What do you do, man?
Yeah, my name is Terrell Simmons. I'm a DNI champion. I do that in my day job, and you know, like crazy enough is I've done workforce development most of my life, but I before this DNI thing became popular, I was building programs in the hood to help you know, people of color get into different middle wage jobs and doing that already equitably, and then Black Lives Matter happened, and then DNI became a big thing, and then they made a new lane for me. So I was like, wait, I've been doing this. So it got a title now.
and they giving out checks. Major League Baseball just sent me some today on LinkedIn.
Yeah, right.
They looking for somebody for doing DNI work, man. It's getting kind of crazy, man.
Yeah. So
how long you been doing this?
So I've been doing workforce development work for about the past six years now, and I kind of fell into it because I thought I was going to go into doing like program development for nonprofits and fundraising development, and then I got into workforce development working for an organization out here, the San Diego Workforce Partnership back in the day, and then they just happened to work with the mayor's office to build different youth programs for refugee community, people with disabilities, to get them back to work. So that's how I got into the space.
Yeah.
Hey,
We got a question.
We had a question, and it pretty much mirrored what I was going to ask you. For people who don't really know, and I may just be one of them. What is DNI exactly? You know what I mean? And why is it important? And why is there such a I guess movement towards it by companies? You know?
Yeah, so DNI stands for diversity and inclusion. And, since we had this eye awakening over COVID and George Floyd, companies have included diversity, equity, and inclusion. And now you'll see some companies put the B in there. So it'd be diversity, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And basically what that is how do we start to look at the different systems that are in place and create systems that really reflect the workforce and allow people to be their most authentic self. I would have to say authentic professional self, because they don't want you being all the way too authentic. There has to be some professionalism in there, but your most authentic self, and use that as traits to help benefit the company. Because if you look at all the studies, we know that, generally speaking, a diverse company, if they're able to use all the assets right, they can make great product, systems, programs, and etc. if they're using it right. I tell people it's like making a good pot of gumbo. You guys ever had gumbo?
Yeah.
Bro,
what's in the gumbo?
You see how big we are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me say this. In New York, we have the women and minority-owned businesses in the administration. And one of the things now is supposed to be each corporation or business is supposed to get a diversity grade. What I've been finding in some cases is some of it has been window dressing, where some of the larger companies will try to just try to appease people, try to get maybe a black contractor or two just to come and be in part of the project, give them a small piece of the pie. And it just seems like there's a way of trying to circumvent that. What are some of the challenges that you've run into in trying to make sure that we can get some semblance of equality across the board?
That is exactly that, what you said. So I remember talking to some friends of mine who are in the tech industry space out here, and we got excited because right after Black Lives Matter, you see all these companies pledge, yeah, we're gonna give $1 million, yeah, we're gonna do this, yeah, we stand with our brothers and sisters. It's been almost a year now. Can somebody give me the reports? I want to see receipts. Who been doing what? What checks have been written? What programs have been developed? What what things have you changed in your company to make sure that we don't get more of the same old, right? Have we seen that?
Yes.
And so that's the biggest challenge when it comes to this work. The next biggest challenge I would say is that people often look at it, and because when we're talking about dealing with diversity, equity, inclusion in institutions and companies, we're really what we're really doing is we're addressing white supremacy, right? And white supremacy culture, and people think that only lives in white people. And what I'm here to tell you is that that's not the case. There
Interesting.
are Black people, there are Hispanic people that take on form of whiteness and subscribe to certain whiteness culture traits, right? And will feed into that, which feeds into then the system staying the way it stays, that only benefits a certain group of people.
Mm. Mm.
Right. Right.
I
And
hope
where do
everybody.
you think that comes from?
Where do I
History.
think that comes from? History.
History, bro.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question.
Here's where it comes from. If you look at how this country was built, right? Let's say those European settlers that came over here and dominated. When they first settled here in Canada and in the US, the first group of people that they kind of enslaved and tried to change were the indigenous people that were here, right?
Right.
And in one of those famous speeches, he said, "We got to eradicate the Indian and save the man." And so they cut their hair off. They made them wear, the clothes they wear. And then somewhere along the line, those group of people felt that, they weren't at the same level of human being. The humanity went out the window, even for our people, where we're was it 3/5 of a man, right?
Mm.
Right.
Where we're not, the humanity was stripped away. Where now, since I think you're not at the human level as I am, and you're beneath me, I feel like you are now property. I could treat you any kind of way, right? Now, uh when I would say when we got the free emancipation, all the rules that came in that we thought we were free, we may have won some things on paper, but the South won the narrative of the story. So that's why certain rules, policing, and laws and things were kept in place, because they won the story. They won the narrative
Mhm.
of how Black people, people of color, will be continue to be treated. And they started a new type of slavery, which is, prison, hoods, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So when you go in like yourself, right? This might sound funny. When you go into a company and you come in, you're a little dark skinned man and stuff like that. Do white people get more intimidated when you come into those rooms and talk about this inclusion? If they be more acceptable to a more fair skinned brother or sister, if you know what I mean, or a white person doing the same kind of work, telling them this kind of things? Do you see
Let
any difference?
you got a couple light skinned people on your show. I'm pretty sure they get better deals when they come in the room versus us dark skinned brothers. Now I'll just tease it.
Nah, sometimes us light skinned brothers are actually blacker than some dark skinned brothers. I've seen that too.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
all my
Some
light
people,
skinned,
some light skinned dudes are stronger fighters.
yeah, man. All my look, you got Farrakhan. Don't wave your head, motherfuckers.
That's right. That's right.
the old Negro slave debate: light skin versus dark skin.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get them all. Yeah, Adam Clayton Powell, all the motherfuckers out there hard, son.
Hey, listen, Tariel, let me ask you a question, man. So you go into a company and you are successful, all right? Wildly successful. What does that success look like to me, the worker? Does that just mean that I see more faces that look like me at the top? Does it mean that I no longer have to code switch when I go to work? What does that mean? What does success mean? What is the difference? What does freedom or DNI look like for me as worker?
Yeah. So here's why I know when companies are successful. And when we go, because what companies preach now, they preach safe spaces, right? we got to create a safe space if we're going to do this. So we have a set of rules of how we're going to talk, how we're going to engage. And what I've noticed is when we create those safe spaces, often people who need to be pushed are the same people who are very ignorant in their ways and their way of thinking. So if John from the 15th floor be saying racist things, doesn't mean he's a racist, but he's been saying racist things, and he says, I feel uncomfortable, then we have to end the conversation there and we can't talk about it, right? So what needs to happen is if a company moves, it's not saying that you get rid of all safe spaces. Some safe spaces needed, but you need to create brave spaces where we can argue with civility and have discussion, and where it's not just allowed for these systems and these conversations that happen, and nobody is able to address it, right? And that really sets a space for people to have honest dialogue, difficult conversations, to be able to move the needle on the things that we need to discuss, so we won't end up in the same place and repeat history where we always been.
That's an excellent point. I think one of the issues that I've seen, and this is being a small business owner, I've always believed it's kind of hard to legislate morality. That's one of the issues. So it almost seems like trying to get the round peg into the square hole type situation where we're trying to legislate this, but it seems like what we do is we address the flames and not actually the cause of the fire. Did you get? You guys hear me?
You went out a little bit.
So what I'm saying is like we almost address the symptoms. It seems like, you know what I mean. This is a societal issue, and so obviously it just creeps into the corporate space. I commend you. What made you walk in this path? We have gentlemen on this show that are just as passionate. How did you wind up being in this space?
Yeah, so I kind of got voluntold, honestly. It was the first time around I got put in a space, was nobody else would do it. And so I always had this personality. I'm originally from the East Coast and I live out here on the West Coast. I always had this big personality where, like, I'm not totally afraid to say what I feel, as long as I know it's going to be received in the right way in the space that I say it.
And it's true.
And it's true, right?
Correct. And it's true.
And I'm also a comedian. Like, I grew up in the era of your mama jokes. Everybody in my family is a comedian. You have to have tough skin. So I usually mix my humor and my seriousness in a way that, sometimes people feel unthreatened and they're like, wait, he just told me some truth there, right? And so people, they can swallow the truth a little bit better when it comes with some comedy.
Gotcha.
And so that's how I was, quote unquote, selected to be the easier to swallow, Negro versus some other person who's going to come out all Farrakhan on them.
Yeah, because white people like a little powdered sugar on it when they receive it.
Not the powdered sugar.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But I wanted to ask you if you.
Sugar.
Yeah. How would you? What kind of advice would you give somebody that wants to get into DNI?
I think if you want to get into DNI, I would say, one, go into different leadership programs that help you build up your tolerance to kind of address, the mask you live in, because people gonna come for you, right? Mm-hmm. And they gonna pull out all your skeletons like you Drake versus Pusha T.
Yeah.
And if you ain't dealt with some stuff, you're gonna look silly up there trying to deal with some stuff while you're trying to help people.
In other words, you can't have thin skin.
You can't have thin skin, and you need to be able to say, hey, you know what? That's something that I'm addressing. That's something that I'm still working through. You got to be able to be a little bit vulnerable, because people don't want it. If you're not willing to be vulnerable, then why should I be vulnerable with you to talk about these stuff? tough
Mhm.
issues.
So you can't have no love child by a stripper. That's what you're trying to say.
You could, but you just have to be ready to talk about it.
You said
Yeah.
push the T. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we had a question. I think Lisa made a good comment up there in there a minute ago. Jamie, can you bring it back up real quick?
Yeah, dialogue, listen to hear, not to respond. You
Mhm.
know, is that sounds like sound advice just in general. You have two ears and one mouth for a reason. You know, and I think that's probably half the battle. Just me, of course, not really knowing what goes into it. But I think that if it's about learning what one another is dealing with and the sharing experiences, man, it's got to at least start with that. You know. What are people? What are the conversations? What are some of the deepest conversations that you've had or dialogues that you can kind of impart with us? You know, something heavy, something that made you just say back in the days, or some sort of revelation that you didn't necessarily have going into it.
And please don't say any company's name.
Yeah, right.
You're not messing up my check. You're not messing up my check. Before I jump into that, to go back to that young lady's comment, it's so important because what I often tell people to do is listen to understand and listen with an open heart and open mind, because sometimes what we do, there's two things that happen. Like if you're in a leadership position or you own a company, you're listening to risk mitigate. And so you're listening to respond. And what I mean by that is, like, think about the time when your wife is telling you something and you trying to think of the response to give her, because, like, I'll give you an example. When I came in one day and, my wife was mad at me because I didn't do the dishes. And I said I was going to do the dishes, right? And I'm like, I just came from a hard day of work. And she want to get on me about these positions. So I'm up here thinking about how I'm gonna respond, to what she's saying and give her the reason why, but not really listening to understand the reason why she really frustrated is because I I consistently did something and made a promise that I was not keeping to her, right? It wasn't really about the dishes at this time. It was about the behaviors that led up to this thing that blew up to what it is right now. And so I urge people to listen to understand, forget the risk mitigation and not respond. And you can truly hear what the other person is trying to say. And you can read in between the lines what's not being said. Now to go into answer your question, I think the most courageous thing that I had to do was be vulnerable, because my wife is Chinese and we have a mixed daughter. And during this past year, during the pandemic, we both experienced discrimination from two different lenses. One from, the Black Lives Matter, one from, the Asian hate. And my daughter, who was only 3 at the time, experienced something, and I had to have a discussion with her that I didn't think I was going to have at 3. I wasn't ready to have that discussion at 3. And it's the discussion that all Black parents feel. And then I had to be vulnerable at my work to tell them why I'm not in the right mindset right now, because here's what I'm going through. And so, no, I can't help you with your DNA efforts right now because I'm going through some things.
Mm-hmm.
Point. Very good point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like sometimes the stoppages, the things that we have going on in our own lives can be stoppages. And then you going back to what you said before, when we're talking about like listening to respond, you could see that just on a macro level in our relationships, between, let's say, minorities and the greater society, so to speak, or the majority society, where they listen to respond. You know what I mean? There's a consistent evaluation or not understanding of a point of view, and they've gotten to a point, it feels like, they're kind of shutting down and like, okay, I've heard the argument. You always say this, and they've heard the story, but it's just kind of, they always listening to respond now, you know what I mean? To explain away, the consistent behavior, so how do you overcome that sort of thing, is I guess one of the things that we kind of that I wonder, about like how do you get them to, let's say I'm assuming like you may go into a company that is like, let's just say it's predominantly white. You can look, of course, the executive, on the executive level and see all of these people. How do you get them to understand a different point of view, or just even if it's just someone who works with a middle manager, you know what I mean? How do you do that?
A long story short, Derik is saying, how you saying you crackers don't get it?
See, D, I'm trying to finesse the situation.
I ain't finessing shit. I'm gonna tell you. You go against.
Yo, we only got a 2-hour show.
You heard it?
Yeah.
you crackers just don't get it. How you going to say that, brother?
Oh man. So it's a 4-level approach. Like usually I take them through their how they're built as a culture, going back to them as a culturally diverse person to see, their cultural programming of what makes them, right? So example for me, right? I grew up in Washington, D.C., grew up during a time where it was the murder capital, grew up in the hood. Some of my cultural programming is, snitches get stitches. For those who can't relate, that means don't tattletale. For any of your white listeners, if you have any. And so when I came over to a corporate environment and started working in HR, there's like, hey, if you see something, say something. I'm like, oh hell nah. Like I don't care what Jim doing over there. That's none of my business, right? And then going to understand how your cultural programming, whether it be, my grandparents from the South, respect your elders, right? How that informs how you maneuver and how you interact with society. Then there's another aspect of it where, just to simply put it, without going through the whole context of it, there's that old golden rule, right? You guys remember what's the golden rule?
He who has the gold makes the rules.
Oh well, that's one. I'll talk about the Bible. That's
But that's the rule.
The one from the Bible.
That is the golden rule.
That is the golden rule. I'll talk about the golden rule from the Bible. Like, do unto others.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm a senator. You got the wrong brother asking that. I don't do none of that. I don't listen to none of that shit, man.
So treat others the way you want to be treated. When I usually go in and I reprogram that and I say, hey, we're not doing the golden rule no more. We're doing the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated, right? Because I may not want to be treated the way you want to be treated. And then if you can understand that concept and get to know people to see how they like to be treated with, how they like to be communicated with, see what their understanding of their culture is, whether it be notions of time, respect, family, what's important to them, and then communicate from that level, then you can have a more honest dialogue and meet people where they're at.
That's what's up. So my brother, man, where can people find you at, man? They want to book you, tell about your podcast, what time to come on, where's that platform at, and all that stuff, man.
Well, right now you can find me on Rise Urban Nation on all platforms streaming. If you want to book me, go ahead and hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm on there too. Taryell, Taryell Simmons, all platforms, and we can chop it up.
That's what I'm talking about, Taryell. Show that shirt off one more time, brother, man. We appreciate you, brother, man, and all the work you do, man. Like I said, he's making sure that all the promises were made, they're gonna be kept. Because there's there was a lot of promises out there from the NFL. We know how they got down to all of these all going deodorant companies and all of this diversity stuff they were talking. And I haven't seen nobody do this shit. Don't talk about goddamn secret. They about to laugh.
I'm coming.
Listen, Taryell, I like wearing ladies deodorant, so we gotta have a diversity and inclusion person to come in and talk about, let's chop it up, how they treat me about my feminine product.
Hey, strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
That's damn right. That's damn right. That's very right.
Yeah.
All right, my brother from another mother. Thanks for coming on, man, for chopping up with us, man. Peace, and peace to you, brother.
Take care, brother.
Appreciate you.
Right.
So D, you just gonna double down on that deodorant stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Sam, put me back on top, like right here we go. Oh, mix it back up. Put Derik back. There we go, Jamie. There we go, Jamie.
All right.
There we go, Jamie. Yeah, man. So
And then be two dark skinned brothers up top, right? We always got to keep one of us down. That's what it is.
Nah, man, that was good. That was a good conversation, man, with our brother there, man. Like a lot of people promising, man. I hope they deliver, because a lot of companies they sometimes they just like to promote us, the middle management, and keep us there.
Yeah,
But you're not gonna just deliver. You got to make people deliver. That's just the bottom line. You know.
A lot of empty platitudes out there. You know, it's good to see him out there just trying to make it happen, man, for us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, you know, we let's chop it up. We like the barbershop talk. So now we got to get into a little bit of sports. So this is gonna be Maya Shaka makes the history of the first black female officiated an NFL game. She officiated the games between the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. And we know the outcome of that. She couldn't even cheat for the brothers. Yeah. Jets still lost. That's our sister right there.
Yo, you see that look on her face? She said, "Damn, the Jets suck."
I think your sister went to a historical black college too, university, man. I believe
that's what's up. Yeah. Beautiful.
So shout out to her, man. I think in the daytime, I think she's a teacher or something like that.
That's a great job. They depending on how long they're in the league, they get pensions and all that stuff.
Yeah. They fly them out. Man, I was working when I first started my job in now. It was a middle school. The phys ed teacher, I think he used to fly out on Fridays after work to do the NFL games somewhere, and then be back on Monday morning. So
first of all, I got to commend her, because that's tremendous. That is a tremendous.
Forget that Panther Nation, my goddaughter. We also start muting her ass. But go ahead, man.
She's a groundbreaker in that, and that's great. I was an official for about 20 minutes with a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and I'm gonna tell you something. I commend anybody that's an official. They got on me so bad, I got in my car and left. I told them being official is no joke, but on that level, that's amazing. That's
right, black girl magic, man.
Yeah, black girl, man. It's good to see you doing anything.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can say. It took too long. It should have happened sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good, because I think they've been trying and it seems it's succeeding. Just I remember when they were trying to get more female viewership for the NFL. You know what I mean? And so in order to do that, you have to have a more feminine presence. So it's good to see female women coaches and women referees, man. It just I'd be interested to see what her perspective is on what she sees. So what kind if there's a different perspective.
Do you think you'll see a female professional football coach?
Well,
I think they are.
They are. They have not a head coach, but they have coaches.
Yeah.
Assistant.
I'm trying to figure out which team.
I know I wonder, for some reason I'm thinking the Browns in my head, but I might be wrong.
I can't think, but there is a female coach.
Defense coach, right?
I think it's defense. It's a defensive coach.
Coordinator or something.
Yeah, somebody. It's a coordinator somewhere. I can't. Damn, man, we should have looked that up before we got on.
Well, maybe Jamie can find it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll bring it up, Jamie. While we doing the sports segment, if you can find that real quick for us, that'd be great, my brother. So, Ben Wallace, Virginia Union's own former NBA player, pays tribute to being in the Hall of Fame to the Black Panthers while he's getting his Hall of Fame induction. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
First of all, I thought that was Frederick Douglass. First of all, I'm just. I know what happened. I was like, no. I think it's commendable. Just as Reggie Douglas would have done. No, I think it was really, really commendable to do that, because I think it's bigger than him. And realistically, all the fame and accolades is really what you do in the service of other people that really matters, And so I think it's always great, especially for today's athlete, to see that people before them have sacrificed for other people. And so when a brother is trying to do that, I think it's a great cause, though, to see that. It's commendable to make it from Virginia Union University to society, then to actually become a Hall of Famer. That's amazing. And then to actually sacrifice for other people, that's a good look. So congratulations to Ben Wallace. And hopefully Ron Artest will be there to support it, after they squash their beef from the Malice at the Palace. But no, that's definitely commendable to the brother.
And Virginia Union's own, baby. Rebound king, right? Just want to make sure, man. Kelvin, was you like Virginia Union when he was there?
Nah, you know what? I think he came after me. But I came after Charles Oakley and I think AJ English. So Virginia Union has produced some NBA players from a Division II school. And anybody out there lets you know that you don't necessarily need money or books or anything to make it big. So hard work always works out.
I'm surprised they produced more boxers and wrestlers from Virginia Union. Anyway. Rob, you about to say something? I'm sorry to cut you off. Are you about to say something, man?
Nah, this was saying I didn't recognize Ben Wallace either because I didn't have his headband on and that big old afro. So I didn't recognize him. But I like the way he was dressing. He looked like, he looked like from the Nation of Islam a little bit there, looking strong. But I commend the brother.
Yeah. I think
I just saw where he's from, Loudness County, or something like that. Whitehall or whatever. Whitehall, I guess the connection. I was trying to figure out where the Black Panther connection was, because I couldn't see it, But I think that's the birthplace of the Black Panther. I just saw it. Yeah, so maybe that's it. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, man. So producer Jamie tells us 12 females in the NFL as coaches right now. So we don't have to list the teams, but just to let people know we are making strides and changes. And I think baseball has general manager at Asian lady as the general manager for the Florida Marlins.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So without further ado, since we're on the topic of basketball, Russell Westbrook, Kid Cudi, wear skirts for New York Fashion Week. Lord have mercy.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ. Son of a bitch. Anyhow, I'll leave my thoughts, but my thing. Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you take
Russell he looking like Lady Diana in that picture. I mean, like, what the hell is going on with these guys with this dress?
Coach Jam, thanks. Right.
Yeah, it's just insane to me. Like, did he get a big check for something like that? Because I mean, for me to put on a dress, you got to give me a hell of a check.
I don't give a fuck if you give me a hell of a check. I'm not destroying my.
No. Don't say that, because if they cut you a big enough one, you probably put one on. Like, you know about millions. If they cut me in the millions, I might have to think. I'm probably gonna have to think about it. It's only temporary. That would be my attitude. I'll change it. It's only temporary.
No. All right, look. I'm gonna be honest with you. D, we done let the deodorant go. You put a shirt on, I'm telling you, it's a wrap.
Come on, man. I have my feminine balance and the underarms.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I think it is this kind of anti-masculinity agenda. That's what it just feels like. It just really feels like it's almost this idea of some type of submission or something. It's almost like it seems like some type of form of control in some way. And I look at the NBA players, the way they dress, their fashion, and fashion has really slowly been moving to that extreme. Like, it's almost, masculinity has become a bad word over the last 2 decades. It really has. Like, it's a negative thing to be masculine.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't get that.
Yeah, I agree, Kelvin. I think that basically it is a demasculation campaign going on, a serious one, and it's definitely attacking Black men. But I think it's like trying to take our strength away. They don't want us looking strong. You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of see it. So the way to take your strength away is to make you look feminine. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I agree with Ronnie, because think about this. Russell Westbrook is one of the baddest dudes that we know in the NBA, right?
Yeah, correct.
One of the most masculine dudes. Convince him to wear a damn dress or a skirt, whatever you want to call the damn thing, on there. What is that really? What's the message behind that? Not that you can be different. You can be different doing a whole bunch of shit. Dennis Rodman had him, and he wore skirts too. But
nobody was more different than Cam Newton too. He was doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, man, he's out. Yeah, fuck Cam Newton.
But I want to know how they explain that. How does he explain that to his wife? How does Russell Westbrook sit down?
He can't explain nothing to get that. He got that check, man. That's the
I'm glad you said that. It's Black women, the gatekeepers of this feminine movement. When they screaming out, there's no real men, but you're the gatekeepers of this kind of look.
Yeah,
they love it. Like, look at that. Oh, girl, he got his purse. Now we see young men all going to parties. Out of the party was like 10 young men. They all have fucking purses. Going to the bathroom with your purse.
Right.
I have never seen that, man.
But Derek, I get your point.
They have them all on every time. Going to the bathroom with some shit.
Derek, I get your point. And let's say you just made $20 million. You do a photo shoot with a skirt on. What's your wife gonna say? Not saying you made the money from there. I'm saying that let's say you got that check, you just a millionaire, whatever. What does your wife say before those pictures are released?
Bro, I don't even know.
I'm calling the guys from Let's Chop It Up to take me out on a masculine date.
She probably said, "Give me my half, man, so I can find me a real dude." You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That's an alien mentality to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard for me to grasp. And D, what you talking about these young guys wearing purses and such and bringing them to the bathroom, like, that's just hard for me to get, man. You know what I mean?
They always do it. They always do it through sports and music. They always
it's a psychological operation on a massive scale, man. You know what I mean? It's it's the old quote unquote Willie Lynch syndrome type deal. You know what I mean? You just take your most alpha would normally be your most alpha, and you just break them down and do the switcheroo on them or whatever, man.
It's gangsterlicious and thugnificent.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're right, but think about this, man. You only see this in the two most dominant sports of brothers of color is basketball and the NBA. You don't see this in baseball.
No.
You never see it in baseball. You don't see this in boxing.
No.
You see it in those two fucking arenas where they in those arenas all the time. Especially NFL, NFL, they could, like you said before, money, and they can control by money because their contracts not guaranteed.
No.
Exactly.
So
soon men and women going to be shopping in the same department. You can be able to wear each other's clothes.
You remember KG?
For the same drawers, right? Yeah, unisex underwear. Watch, that's coming next, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm only wearing deodorant, feminine, and using women's shaving cream. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing. That's the far as I go.
About the shaving cream.
Oh yeah, women's shaving cream is way better.
D, you ain't got the pink razor, do you?
No. I still got masculine razors, but the shaving cream just got a nice smooth to your head and skin and stuff like that. It's like make my skin feel like Gary Coleman. Oh man. Listen, man. Here we go, Derek. I'm not trying to poke the bear, but Holyfield versus Belfort last week. Oh,
okay. Let's start off like this.
Go ahead, right? Ron. You take it from here, bro.
I'm gonna start off like this.
I'm not saying shit.
Yeah, we're not picking on Derek, but Derek, it's getting harder and harder to defend this thing. They basically sanctioned a 58-year-old man to get in the ring and box,
and they did wrong for that.
They're absolutely
dead ass wrong for that. Whoever did that is dead ass wrong, bro.
I felt
the athletic commission is dead ass wrong for
that. I felt so bad. Now I didn't pay for the fight because I'm not going to support nothing like that. But I did see the fight like on YouTube or what have you. But
or illegal fire stick.
No, I didn't. But no, I didn't watch it. I watched it after the fight. And the thing is, like, I felt like bad for Holyfield. Like, I'm looking at him like, man, you need the money. Like, it just didn't look good. That's not something as a sports fan or a boxing fan that I would want to see. I don't want to see Evander Holyfield get hurt. I used to see Evander Holyfield as one of the toughest fighters in his era. This is the man that took down Mike Tyson.
And we had a conversation. We had a kind of a little thing. You thought that if they fought right now, Holyfield would take Mike.
Well, I did. I'm going to take that back now.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it back. You're right. See, Derek, I'm admitting that I'm wrong. You got to practice that. But the thing is, I take it back. I don't think he can beat Mike Tyson now. There is a big age difference, and basically, Holyfield has hit the wall. I mean, I don't want to see Holyfield get hurt.
Now,
that's great. He's shredded, but that little thing inside of him.
It's in great skin.
It's gone. His mind, it's not reacting to that.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. What happens with fighters? The brain gets stronger than the body. So their brain is telling them, yeah, I can still fight, I can still do this, but the body's not responding.
Did we not 2 weeks ago have a discussion on when should your favorite entertainer exit?
You're right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. In this case, someone else told them. The lefts and the rights told them. But if you just listen to what's Chop It Up, I was trying to tell you, leave before they ask you to leave. Yeah. Everybody has a season, and when your season is over, you can't extend it. else
that
you can
happens.
wind up with a speed knot.
That happens all the time in boxing.
It interferes with your legacy.
Oh man, yeah. It happens all the time in boxing, man.
Rodney said it best. Holyfield needed money. I think he did that show with ex Sports Space with A-Rod in it last long. A-Rod was trying to teach him how to get money and how to.
But he got a son in the NFL now, right?
Well, manage him and figure it out.
Holyfield has a lot of kids.
Yeah, he does.
He might have an NFL team.
He had a compound, He was at height, man. He had all those baby mamas and whatnot. Living with all those kids, man, on the compound, man.
Yeah, I think Holyfield got more kids than me.
Yeah.
He probably does. I think he got. Yeah, if Jeremy could find out how many kids this motherfucker have.
He got kids, man.
That kept Ali in the ring too long.
Yeah. No, boxing does that, bro. Boxing is the one sport, man, that is so. You know, boxing retires you, man. You know what I mean? People don't retire from boxing. Boxing retires you.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
But he should just go into like, the thing with Holyfield. Like if he had a personality, he could have went to wrestling. Like Mike Tyson didn't do his podcast and do the movies. Mike Tyson easily could have went into wrestling because he's a character.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's I think a little different. Why hasn't Holyfield sold his story? Like, why hasn't there been a movie made about Holyfield, some sort of book, documentaries? He could have made his money that way. Why did he get back in the ring?
He's boring.
Listen, man.
He has no
I mean, you got to realize
Holyfield has no personality.
He's not prolific. He does not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay. I mean, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help the guy out.
Let's stop it up. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? Like, come on. Nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody want to hear that shit. Man, the Holyfield unsung. He's like, I used to box with my hands. Like, nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody want to hear that shit. Ain't no story. I fuck a lot. I got a lot of kids. I don't want to hear that shit.
No, I mean his boxing story. That is a story to still be told. I mean, this man was a heavyweight, a small heavyweight, and he actually was able to capture the heavyweight championship a couple of times.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you honestly.
Yo, y'all got to get off my man Holyfield.
But to be honest with you, I don't know if you remember early on in his career, he was kind of like a light heavyweight, right?
He was a cruiserweight. He was a cruiserweight.
I don't think across the board Holyfield's ever been beloved. I think he was respected. I think Tyson was beloved. I think Ali was beloved. I think he reminds me of Holmes. He was a champion, but he was never. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. I'm going to tell you why Holyfield wasn't grabbed by the public. First of all, number one, he was a boxer that basically was religious and he didn't talk too much.
Yep.
That's what killed. People want to hear people talk trash, and he never did that with his opponents. He was quiet, and he basically said, "I ain't afraid. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show him what I'm going to do." And that would be the end of his story. That's how he was. That wasn't exciting for people. Yeah. And when Holyfield knocks you out, he hits you with 3 or 4 or 5 punches, and then he puts you down. It wasn't like a one-punch knockout guy, Yeah. So that's why. But the thing is, he probably was the most fearless heavyweight there probably was. He wasn't afraid of no one.
I'll say this though, a lot of them kind of got big when Mike's trouble started. So if you look at Riddick Bowe, you look at Holyfield, or even Lennox Lewis, when Tyson went to jail and Tyson wasn't himself, and then a lot of them emerged. Tyson used to keep that division clean. He used to keep 3 belts around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but once he got in trouble, then all of a sudden everybody else it was parity. But before that, Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for the lack of discipline and Buster Douglas and all that stuff like that, we don't know how long his run could have been. You know what I mean? Just on intimidation alone, let alone the power and the speed. But I don't really care for Holyfield to really see him in any other genre. I just really don't, to be honest with you. Unless it's versus.
I feel you, Kelvin. Like I said, he just wasn't exciting. I mean, exciting in the ring, but like lifestyle, no.
No, he was exciting in the bedroom. That motherfucker got 12 kids.
12 kids, man.
Wow.
So,
I knew he had a lot. But
yeah, man. You know.
And we're gonna move into a little bit of entertainment since we all let's chop up and we talk about that in the barbershop type talk. Aria Lennox shuts down light skin privilege claims against Chloe Bell. Chloe Bell, that's my crush on my head. They know she got a young, but Elijah Muhammad said women half your age plus 7. Chloe Bell from Grownish. Did a great performance and stuff like that the other night on the VMAs, and she did one of the best busting challenges during 2020. She got me feeling good about myself again with her busting. So thoughts, gentlemen.
I'm a sound foul. I come from, I guess we grew up in an era where there was superstars and stars. These people just popular. Like it's something where it is almost so much traffic and noise online that it's just this glorified popularity contest. And so all of this stuff it seems like the lines just bleed together. It borders. Do people really care about this stuff? Because today's entertainer just doesn't seem any different or more special than anybody else. It just always seems to be something deleterious that seems to be toxic. That's what it feels like. It's not. Remember when there was a thing where people used to there was glamour with Hollywood. There was the big award shows, red carpets. Now this look like 125th Street, Jamaica Avenue, and somebody beefing. That's what it looks like. And I know that sounds foul, but it just does.
Yo, did you hear that Kelvin dropped the word deleterious?
That was a $5 word.
Yo, that was a $15 word.
I got paid 15 for that. Yeah.
You get mad points for that shit in Scrabble. If you were playing Scrabble, you would have killed us with that. First of all, some of us don't even know what it means.
I just said it and said, hope these motherfuckers know what he's talking about.
As soon as you said it, I was like, oh shit, deleterious.
Deleterious on this bitch.
Get with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? It's going to be a football player named Deleterious soon.
Deleterious Jackson.
Deleterious. Deleterious had 4 sacks last night. Deleterious.
Yeah. Either a football player or a pimp.
Yeah, right.
I told you before I know a pimp named Cashmere, right?
No, let's not talk about that.
All right, I just want to tell you. That's a long time ago.
Unbelievable. Yo, but good word, Kelvin. Good word, man.
Yeah.
Yo, that's like Walt Clyde Frazier dropping Serendipity.
Yo, you know his restaurant they said didn't survive the pandemic.
It's over.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah, I just saw the headline. Yeah, Walt,
It had a basketball court in there too.
I've been there a few times. This is nice.
I was there once.
Is it true that the ceiling?
You and that went around together?
No, we didn't go together. No.
Is it true that the ceiling reflects all of his wardrobe and his?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, at least a bunch of
nice spot.
beers and stuff will be all right now. And
I'll be honest with you. I thought it was in a bad place because, it was on 9th Avenue, close to the West Side Highway, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. It was to me, it seemed like, just it was in an off the beaten path.
I didn't know if today's sports fan connected with it.
When I went, it wasn't even full. I even got.
He's a star from yesteryear that they didn't see play.
Yeah,
and even though he's the greatest point guard in Knick history,
Yeah.
I just don't think it connected.
Yeah.
But we're going back to Chloe, man. That her friends that defended her, Chloe, when her fans defended her and tried to stop the beef. So that's how the whole thing started with that. But shout out to the sister, shout out to what she's doing and everything. We love her music.
Yeah, I just don't like that. A lot of artists, they're not based on talent anymore. It's based on what kind of shit you can stir up. You know what I'm saying? And that's like Kelvin said, back in our days, some of these people wouldn't be stars today because a lot of them are not that talented.
It was
I mean, listen, none of the Kardashians would have jobs. Who are they? What do they do? You know what I mean? None of them have a talent other than being Kardashians, and
But you know what? The thing that's even worse than that, Derik, to me, is it's not just them. It's the actual amount of people they've influenced to try to take the same road.
Right. Yeah.
If you remember, Lawrence Fishburne's daughter became a porn star
Right.
She said she did that because
She wanted to.
Kim Kardashian got famous with her sex tape.
So,
And then she realized she was black.
Yes, but here's the thing: break that apart. You're Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. You can't get a reading somewhere.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you just put in some work.
I think they had a strange relationship to them too. I think they had a strange.
Still, man, she'd have done anything, man. You know what I mean? You can't tell me she could. They had no relationship. Her last name alone would have got her readings. You know what I mean?
That's why they didn't have a relationship.
If he blocks her, but also porn is acting. For my research.
Well, back to the Kardashians. Basically, Kim got famous from a sex tape, which I don't know how you get famous from a sex tape and then go into mainstream entertainment. That's amazing to me.
She failed up. She had a different kind of skin.
Yeah, she failed up. She fell up the stairs. Yeah. And then the thing is, nobody in her family well, you got to give them credit for amazing marketing, how this family was able to market themselves and become famous. But to be famous from not doing anything, that's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain point where you have to live with yourself. She says she's gonna have to one day tell her daughter. I used to say her kids don't need to be in the cafeteria in junior high. Just don't say nothing. Don't say.
Well, I don't think she's gonna have to tell them anything. It's gonna be on the bathroom wall.
That's what I'm saying. Like when your mom's is with at radio.
Oh, Joey, that was funny, man. That was funny.
Did you use it right, Kelvin? Good Lord.
Yeah.
Except Kylie is a businesswoman, like she was smart for getting in the cosmetics business.
But like you said, she's the pimp named Cashmere. That's what the mother is. The mother is the pimp.
The mother the mother was a stewardess and met the father on a flight. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't know that part.
I have no idea. I don't follow the motherfuckers.
I think that's how the mother met the father, the Kardashian father, because that's the name is from the father. The father passed away, but I'm pretty sure she was a former stewardess, and basically she married up. She married him. He was an attorney, and then basically just took off from there. And then she basically became everybody's manager, I guess. But
she worked the wave, man. She got the wave and worked it, man.
Yeah. So on the more entertainment topics, man, what brothers love to talk about in the barbershop the most. Hip hop, we had a versus last night. One of the better ones I heard last. I was in and out of it because I had a lot of phone calls last night. Fat Joe versus Ja Rule at Madison Square Garden. Even though they was trying to act like they very friendly with each other. And I don't know if you guys saw it. What are your thoughts on the versus? And to me, Ja Rule won the night. Ja Rule has a bigger record. What are you guys' thoughts?
I didn't see. I just saw clips, so I can't really.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. I saw clips. I would say that Ja Rule probably definitely has the bigger catalog than Fat Joe. But you're right. It was a friendly competition. They've been friends for a very long time. So it was basically them just having a good time on the stage. That's how I saw it,
Yeah. And 50 Cent was trolling.
He was trolling.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he said he said Ja Rule better be quiet. And somebody said something. No, Irv Gotti said something. And he said, "I'll be quiet before I buy your record label."
I have to say it's enough already. I really think it's really enough already. I mean, they're gonna be old men talking about 50 and Ja Rule. Let it go. You won it, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And
it's not going away.
They're not. No,
that Kelvin, that beef is not going away because it's a lot deeper than you realize.
In other words, Ja Rule Ja Rule doesn't mention him. He just has to keep this thing going, though.
Well, but it's a lot there.
There's a big street beef with that.
Yeah, so the beef was for real. Like we talking about some
stabbings and all kind of stuff, and
people trying to take people's lives and stuff like that. So it was it was serious.
It's like it got bigger than 50. I think it became its own thing. I think and 50 just being who he is. He's like, I can't stand 50. He's saying he does anything to stay relevant. I don't know. Yeah,
that was his biggest rival, and that's when he had the most success. What I'm saying is, right now, if somebody is 20 years old, I don't know that they care about 50 Cent. I don't know if they care about Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't know if they care about 03 that you was on fire. Realistically, like you said, he has to do whatever to stay relevant.
I think 50 is relevant. First of all, last night they had a lot of guest appearances. I want to say Ashanti, Remy Ma came out last night. It was dope. But I think 50 had to stay. He's staying relevant. The kids that's young, like you said, that's a good point. Staying through his TV show productions, like Raising Kanan, the Power series. The BMF shit's gonna be super large.
Correct.
Part of that says because you weren't really that great of a rapper. I mean, realistically, every project got worse. Never lyrical. We've had guests on the show, never been in anybody's top 5 or 10.
Oh no, not lyricist, never. But his first album, none of us could beat that first album.
Nobody could top that first album. I mean, it was probably
he made good songs.
Yeah, he's got a great catalog.
Right. How much of that is Dre? How much of that is Dre? How much of that is the Dre influence?
No, but he also had a lot of features too that he could feature on it.
Yeah. I get that. I'm just saying, like, in other words, to me, with the TV shows and stuff like that, is because he got famous late. Whereas Nas got in the game when he was like 17 or 19. LL got in when he was 17. Jay even got in late. And Jay did all this through lyricism. 50 to me had a great story. He got shot 9 times. He came out with a classic album out the gate. To me, that's what it was. Then he got a bunch of money. I think he's one of the smartest rappers in history. But realistically, I just think at the end of the day, this whole thing about the constant trolling and beefing and stuff, that's what he's known as now. It's almost like a caricature to me. Yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, but that beef with them, that beef is going to be like the Hatfields and McCoys. That's not going to go away. It's never going to go away.
What's going to go away to me is my interest in it. But you're right.
Well, brothers, we're at that final hour, man. That was funny, man. The last comment, man. But listen, people, follow us, like us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Ring that bell. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to get us to that 500. I'm doing it right, guys. 500 mark. Oh no, I'm doing it right.
You just need one hand. Just one hand.
500. 500 subscribers, man. We right there. We love it. The support. Please make comments. We always get back to you in the comments. Love you guys. Love you, brothers. Catch you next week. Peace, and peace.
Peace, y'all.